Guys, let's have an honest conversation concerning Antoine Semenyo. Would you advise the player to stay at Bournemouth for next season or leave the club and go to either Manchester United or Tottenham, who have shown real interest in him? Let me know your honest answers down below in the comments. You're watching SportsCornerGH and my name is Adam. In today's video, we are going to talk about Thomas Partey, his contract extension, new updates coming from David Oyston. We're also going to talk about tariq lamptey and also talk about Semenyo himself and his connection to Tottenham. So please make sure to like, subscribe, and also turn on notification. Quickly, let's jump into it and begin with Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey is hosting a tournament to unearth the new stars here in Ghana, to unearth new talent. Now, this tournament will be held at the Tuba Astrotet. Now, those who don't know Tuba Astrotet, Tuba is around the Wager stretch to Kaswa. That is where the Astrotet is. Now, this tournament begins today on the 10th and it runs until on the 13th of June. Now, in an interview with the Michael Oti AJ of TV3, this is what Thomas Partey had to say about the tournament. Let's check it out.
Well, I think it should be easy to see because growing up, I have this picture like, some of us were lucky and if we were able to get like more opportunity to show or to be taken outside or to, get a better team, we will get more than one or two, So I think the idea is to give the little kids or the children who are, who want to play football the chance, to be able to get more than one or two, because if you are lucky and then you have one player, I think with the opportunity to see more of them, you can have more than one. So growing up, some of my mates have a lot of talent, but, no opportunity. I think with this tournament, everything is free for the kids. They just have to come and play. And then there are a lot of scouts coming from outside. They will see them because when someone is good, it's easy to see. So the main idea is to give the opportunity to the Ghanaian kids and, for them to be able to get to where we want them to be.
So guys, you have heard from Thomas Partey. Let me know what you think about that down below in the comments. I'm sure Thomas Partey, he will be there himself with some scouts and also some players of the Black Stars will be there to support Thomas Partey in his endeavor. This is good. This is Thomas Partey's own way of giving back to the society. So Thomas Partey comes up. But then let's move away from that and talk about Thomas Partey's contract extension with Arsenal. Now, this is coming from David Oyston on social media. Now, this is what he said. He posted this on his social media pages. He says that there should be also some clarity on the future of Thomas Partey in the coming days. The Ghana midfielder contract expires in the summer, and there is still no agreement over a renewal. Should he depart, it is likely that Arsenal will need to enter the market for a replacement. This is coming from David Oyston concerning Thomas Partey. As I brought to you in my previous videos, Arsenal are still in talks with Thomas Partey. From what we hear, Arsenal presented a proposal to Thomas Partey. He's yet to respond because Thomas Partey feels like the contract would be his last contract, probably in a big club like Arsenal. And he has to be a contract that represents his importance in the team. So nothing short of what he's receiving now when it comes to monetary terms, when it comes to bonuses, it shouldn't be short of what he's receiving now. It should be more than that. Last season, we saw Thomas Partey play most games for Arsenal, scored 4 goals, 2 assists in the EPL. At the point in the UCL, every single Arsenal fan was calling out the name Thomas Partey as the rescuer, as the savior. So Thomas Partey's importance at Arsenal is no joke. I don't want to hear the argument that he's getting old. Let me tell you something. In football, that midfield position, we have seen players who have aged and they have played it very well. Toni Kroos as an example. Go and check Toni Kroos. Even till now, Real Madrid are crying because they have not been able to replace him adequately. That is what they are lacking in their midfield. Now we hear Arsenal are in the market looking at Martin Zubimendi. Now Zubimendi is also attracted interest from Real Madrid after performing extremely well with Spain in the Nations League final against Portugal. So it is a huge tackle between Arsenal and Real Madrid for Martin Zubimendi, who is being seen as Thomas Partey's replacement. But other than that, I believe Arsenal should work things out and secure Thomas Partey for at least a year or two, because Thomas Partey's form and performance in the last season has shown that he's a player you can rely on for one season or two. So I think they should try meet Thomas Partey halfway. That is simple, because other than that, there are other clubs who are ready to pounce on the opportunity because he's a free agent. I mean, he can go to Barcelona, pocket in a signing on fee, and still get good money at Barcelona. He can do the same when he goes to Atletico de Madrid. He can do the same when he goes to other clubs that have shown interest in him. Even Saudi Arabian clubs are willing to even double or triple what he's currently earning at Arsenal. So I feel like Arsenal, if they let Thomas Partey leave, they will not know what they lose until he departs that club and they start the season and they're like, we are lacking in our midfield. So this is the update concerning Thomas Partey and my honest opinion on the issue. Things would be clarified in the coming days, according to David Oyston. But I just hope that Arsenal makes the right decision. Now, let's move away from Thomas Partey and talk about Antoine Semenyo. Now, Semenyo this season for Bournemouth has done extremely well. Let me give you his statistics across all competition. He has scored 13 goals, given 6 assists, and played 42 games across all competition for Bournemouth in the just ended season. Now, 11 out of those 13 goals came in the EPL. Not many forwards in Europe can brag of these particular statistics. So for Semenyo, he has outdone himself. He has really performed well. But it is just rather unfortunate that the 2 out of 3 clubs that have shown interest in Semenyo, who are coming from the EPL, are Zuku. I'm talking about Manchester United and Tottenham. Now, with Manchester United, they went in to talk to Semenyo, presented their proposal and everything to Semenyo. That was even before the Europa League final. After they lost to Tottenham, I came back here and told you that it would be difficult for them to convince Semenyo, because looking at the way Semenyo performed and the interviews he had during the whole of last season, he has been mentioning playing in Europe, playing in the UCL, playing in the European competition. Manchester United are not playing any of those. So it will be difficult for Manchester United. So you see Manchester United, they are going in for another option in the person of Brighton Mbeumo. Now, Tottenham, on the other side, they won the Europa League. Now, winning the Europa League means you are going to play in the Champions League. No problem at all. But this same Tottenham team have sacked their coach. The coach that won them that European trophy has been sacked. And that is a problem for me. Now, after this coach has been sacked, from what we hear from reports is that Tottenham are looking to sign Thomas Frank, that Brentford coach. He's the one Tottenham are looking to sign. I don't have a problem with it. But Tottenham themselves, that is where my problem is. Tottenham is a team that over the last 5 or 6 years, we have all had the same notion about them. They don't have a winning mentality. This is a team that will try. They reach the last end. No major, you understand. Even we saw people, ex-players coming out to advise Semenyo, telling him that Semenyo, don't go to Tottenham. Tottenham, the Nanka Fatina Bournemouth. You get my point. Tottenham, they do their things in some way. But if the player decides to go to Tottenham because of UCL football, I won't be worried. I won't be worried at all. I think he deserves it, because that is what he has been aiming and targeting to do throughout this season. Now, the third team that have shown interest in Semenyo is Liverpool, but they have not done anything concrete yet. Liverpool have Semenyo in their list. Now, this is only dependent on the fact that Darwin Núñez and Luis Diaz leave the club. If these 2 players are able to leave the club, definitely Semenyo will be looked at. But other than that, Liverpool are going to keep things lip tight. So currently, 2 clubs have shown interest in Semenyo, Manchester United and Tottenham. And according to report, Tottenham are intensifying their pursuit for Semenyo. They are applying pressure. They are talking to the player. They are talking to Bournemouth. How can we sign this player? And as I have said, this is my honest opinion. Ekamenko and Tottenham is not the right destination for Semenyo. That is the honest truth. But if Semenyo decides to go to Tottenham, who am I? Who am I? We are still going to support the player. We are still going to support the player. Yes, Tottenham won the Europa League and they are playing the UCL next season. But do you see where they sit in the season in the EPL? It should tell you a lot. So, guys, that is the update concerning, Antoine Semenyo. Let me know your thoughts about that down below in the comments. Now, let's move away from that and talk about Tariq Lamptey. Now, Tariq Lamptey, in the just ended season with Brighton and Hove Albion, across all competition, have played 20 games, has scored 3 goals and given 2 assists. He was able to accumulate 1,218 game minutes. Now, let me break down the number of games he played based on the competition he represented in. He played 15 games in the EPL, played 2 games in the FA Cup, and 3 games in the EFL Cup for Brighton and Hove Albion. In my own opinion, that is below average. He has battled with injuries ever since signing from Chelsea to Brighton and Hove Albion. It has been one injury or the another. But when he's fully fit, he's unplayable. He is so good, but the injuries is the problem. And I have something I always say. You see, no matter how talented you are, if you are not available, no one sees it too. If you are not available to show how talented you are, no one really sees it. So we were all kind of worried when we heard that he will be a free agent at the end of the season, because that means, Brighton and Hove Albion would be contemplating on whether to extend his contract or not. And other teams have already shown interest. The likes of Ajax, Sporting CP, a lot of clubs have shown interest in Tariq Lamptey over the past period. But the good news and what we are receiving is that the club, Brighton and Hove Albion, have decided to extend Tariq Lamptey's contract by 1 year. That means the coach has given the go ahead. The coach wants to see what Tariq Lamptey can do one more season. And I think this is good. And for Tariq Lamptey, he needs to stay fit. You have seen Thomas Partey stayed fit and played longer games for Arsenal and has shown his real importance to Arsenal. I believe the same thing will apply to Tariq Lamptey. Now, for Tariq Lamptey staying, this is the reason I think the coach decided to keep Tariq Lamptey. There is a player at Brighton and Hove Albion who Manchester United are interested in. Estupania, I hope I got the pronunciation right. He's their left back, Estupania or something like that. Now, it is likely that Manchester United is going to sign this player. And if they do, the coach does not want 2 left back leaving the club all at one go. So why not keep one just in case the other one leaves? So Estupania, I hope I got the pronunciation right. I don't know if I'm getting the pronunciation right, but then he is Brighton and Hove Albion's left back. And he's currently attracting interest from Manchester United. Manchester United are seriously interested in the player, even though they still have, Patrick Dog. Definitely, they still want to add that player too. So, looking at that, the Brighton and Hove Albion coach does not want to lose 2 left backs all at the same time. Now, Tariq Lamptey plays mostly as a left back for Brighton and Hove Albion, more than the right back. Last season, he showed. Now, this player can play both sides, and I'm just happy that he's staying there for 1 more year. Let's see what he can do. Let's pray he stays fit, because staying fit is very, very important. So, guys, this is where I'm going to end it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and also turn on notification. My name is Adam. You're watching SportsCornerGH. I'll see you in the next one. Charlie, we go right.